loving you and telling you that the world belongs to him and that you have no part in it. I don't have to apologize to anybody for being black, because God Almighty knew exactly what he was doing when he made me black. If black people knew their glorious past, then they would be more inclined to respect themselves. Yes, you heard of Johnny Walker Red and black. Well, he had his adversities, but he's still going strong. Well, I intend with your help and God's grace to continue, because my work has only just begun. And future generations shall have in their hands the guide by which they shall know the sins of the 20th century. I know, and I know you too believe in time, but we shall wait patiently for 200 years, if need be, to face our enemies through our posterity. When my enemies are satisfied, in life I shall come back, or in death even to serve you as I served before. In life I shall be the same, in death I shall be a terror to the foes of Africa. Then count on me to be the real Marcus Garvey I would like to be. If I may come in an earthquake or a plague or a pestilence or as God would have me, then be assured that I shall never desert you and make your enemies triumph over you. Will I not go to hell 1,000,000 times for you? If I die in Atlanta, my work will only just then begin. For I shall live in the physical or the spiritual to see the day of Africa's glory. When I am dead, wrap the mantle of the red, the black, and the green around me, for in the new life I shall rise up with God's grace and blessings to lead the millions of the heights and the triumph that you well know. Look for me in a world when there is a storm. Look for me all around you, for with God's grace I shall come back with countless millions of black men and women who have died in America, those who have died in the West Indies, and those who have died in Africa, to aid you in the fight for liberty, freedom, and life. Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. They gave leadership to our foreparents, and that leadership made them slaves. But we have decided to find a leadership of our own to make ourselves free men. Our great scholars, having passed through the colleges and universities, have thrown away the blessed record. Babylon did it. Assyria did it. France under Napoleon did it. Germany under Prince von Bismarck did it. England under America.
We live in a beautiful world. We live in a beautiful, beautiful world. And not only the black race, but all races don't know their self. You need to know yourself and realize that we all can be slaves to a system. We can be slave to anything. Please know yourself. Realize that you have power. Realize that you are great. Realize that you are somebody. Happy Juneteenth. And think about, do your own research on stuff, on history, on what makes sense. Don't just go out there and go off of what they've told you and what people have said. Do your own research. Look at the facts. I was always told that the best way to hide something was in plain sight. You have this thing, this computer, right here in your hand. If you're holding the phone, if you're at your keyboard, if you're at your laptop, there is knowledge to be learned. Take time to do that, to learn. See for yourself what you have been taught versus what the evidence shows. There's a lady I listened to. She said fear disguised as faith. Being understanding of something, something being understood without really knowing what it is a problem in this world. because they say so, because she says so, because the teacher says so, because the preacher says so. Do your own research. We all can be slaves to a system. And if you are like me, I've been in this world long enough to realize that something's not right. And don't know if you believe in the age of Aquarius, but look it up. Things will be revealed. And people are tired in their soul from having to work, and they feel like they've been enslaving just to make ends meet, just to feed their kids, just to pay bills, or just to go on a mini vacation. So many people in this world are tired. When you think about it, you paying rent. For example, you paying rent. You pay rent to a private landlord or a company. You get that money from your job. It goes back to the rent people. It secures you for a place to live for that month. A month. And then the next month you have to go right back again. Look at the system. Where does the money come from? It comes from the bank. And that same banking system gets the money back because that company or that private landlord put it back in the bank. It's a rat race. It's a rat wheel. Do you hear me? It's a rat wheel. We pay taxes on top of taxes, on top of taxes, on top of that. Everything is taxed. Why? We do it. Even if it don't make sense, we do it. Because it's law. Because we'll lose this, we'll lose that. What type of system is this? What type of system will have you stressing and having to... Because stress kills. Stress kills you faster than a bullet, they say. Stress on your heart, wear and tear. A lot of people die from stress and don't even know it. This world is stressful. The way the system is set up is stressful. And it's just not to black people. It's for all people. I have seen so many people that I work with that's not my color say they have to work 2 jobs. I just had a coworker worked at another job, was coming out of the other job and had a heart attack. 54 years old. Didn't even get to have insurance. We having to do a GoFundMe for him. Why is that? Why is that? Earth is becoming a luxury planet. If you don't have certain things, certain credits, certain stuff like that, you're out. You don't fit in. Another thing too, growing up in school, I have never heard, people growing up, me, myself personally, and those who come for me, I've never heard, and even now, I've never heard them say, take a credit class. Credit. They teaching us trigonometry. They're teaching us trigonometry. What can we do with trigonometry in our daily life? Somebody give me a good example of what we can do with trigonometry in our daily life instead of credit. We were not taught credit in school, and I feel like that's very important if it determines what we can get and what we can't get. Even if you have money or you don't have money, if you have good credit, you can get things. You can be comfortable in life, but they won't teach you that in school. Think about it. Oh, people say your parents supposed to teach you that. The parents weren't taught that. They learned it the hard way. But if that's so important, if trigonometry is more important than credit for everyday life person, math, counting, reading, that's so important. But you can't give me a credit class, at least in high school. what's the game that y'all playing? And it's a game. It's a game. We all need to wake up. Black people had a separate fight. We had a separate fight of trying to get equal to other people, to the rest of the world. That didn't happen all the way, fully. Marcus Garvey made a great point. We need to know ourselves. We need to know ourselves. All people, not just black people. We need to know ourselves. We need to know everything. And I'm telling you, no way this world, this America, is telling you the truth about everything. Do your own research. For black people, there is a video circulating. Harry Belafonte said when talking to Martin Luther King about the Democratic Party, he said that I'm afraid I've led my people into a burning bush. He said, I'm afraid I've led my people into a burning bush. If you don't know what that means Martin Luther King had doubts about us being together. He may have felt like we should have just created our own. And that's what Malcolm X was saying. Basically, his message was saying in the beginning of his, life, he was saying that we should have created our own instead of trying to ask for our freedom from, the people outside of our race. And I think that's where we get it wrong too. And I feel that I understand that because I love all people and I feel like we are all equal. But we don't get treated as such, and we're begging and we're trying to knock the door down. Y'all let us in, y'all let us in. But when we create our own, there have been some instances where we have created our own and they came in and knocked it down. But everybody wasn't on board. I just feel like we are all human beings. Love will conquer all. It's time for everybody to know themselves and realize what's fake and what's going on in this world. It's a lot of stuff we've been lied to about. We got to figure this out. We got to do your research. If you don't believe me, do the research yourself. Do it yourself. Don't get caught up in the Democrat, Republican stuff. Don't get caught up in all this stuff that's going on in this world. Like, you really have to really think about it and use your mind, your heart, and realize what's going on. It's going to take a while, I feel like, for us to really unite and come together and realize that we're all getting played. But this day, on Juneteenth, I have really, really been looking at things and, we just got to wake up. Wake up already.